What a fantastic way to start off a new year, says the 71-year-old, by being honored by the Emmys, RIAA and Guinness World Records, folks. I am so flattered and proud. Dolly made the 2018 Guinness Book for being the female with the most country songs to make the U.S. charts, a total of 107, and having a top 20 hit in each of the 6 decades since her first single Something Fishy in 1967. Joining so many wonderful singers and songwriters who have been honored this way feels so special to me, added the Jolene singer, who surpasses the likes of fellow country veteran Reba McEntire and the late Elvis Presley in reaching the chart milestones. You never know when you start out with your work how it is going to turn out, but to have these 2 world records makes me feel very humbled and blessed. The singer received the Emmy for Smoky Mountains Rise, her telethon that raised more than £6.5 million to help victims of the 2016 Gatlinburg wildfires. The RIAA presented her with 4 plaques for her recordings of Jolene, 9 to 5, and both her and the late Whitney Houston's version of I Will Always Love You. The Beach Boys' Brian Wilson has finally had his school music grade changed from an F to an A despite writing a host of massive hits including Good Vibrations and California Girls. His music teacher at Hawthorne High School, California, which was also attended by his brothers Carl and Dennis, and bandmate El Jardine, wasn't a fan and was even distinctly unimpressed with a composition that went on to become their first single, Surfin', but current principal Dr. Vanessa Landesfiend has upgraded him and wants him to visit so she can make it official. According to Brian, 75, his old music teacher later said, "Brian wrote a composition for me and it turned out to be Surfin'. That composition got an F, but it made $1 million." Tony's on Teleday Night joined a host of rugby stars for the annual Nordoff Robins Six Nations rugby charity dinner on Wednesday. After we'd managed to scrum our way into London's Grosvenor House Hotel, we spoke to former Spandau Ballet frontman Tony Hadley, below, who told us how much he enjoyed filming his guest stint on ITV's Benidorm, and how surprised he was to have even been asked. "They phoned me up out of the blue really. They've had pop stars in it before like Bananarama, and of course my mate Shane Ritchie's been in it," said the 57-year-old, who provided the musical entertainment for the evening. "He told me what good fun it was. So I basically got the opportunity to do a bit of silly acting and had a terrific time." The evening was in recognition of the career of former England fly half Charlie Hodgson, who was in attendance, alongside a host of other past and present players including former England rugby captains Lawrence Dallaglio and Chris Robshaw. No arguing with Torvill and Dean. Let's hope their respective romantic partners are understanding, as ice skating royalty Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean, both judges on Dancing on Ice, are still so close they speak on almost a daily basis. Jane, 60, who is married to sound engineer Phil Christensen, says, "We talk most days, even if there is nothing much to discuss. Sometimes it's just, hey, what are you doing?" And giving an example of how Chris might reply, "They're hugely fascinating chats," he says. "Oh, I'm just cooking." Nor do Jane and twice married Chris, 59, currently dating former DOI coach Karen Barber, ever argue. "Sometimes it is easier to give in," she adds. "But we mostly agree. Years ago when we were training, we had this thing that if we spent our time arguing it was time lost, so we just get on with it." It all kicked off having given birth to her second child with musician husband Marcus Mumford in August. Carey Mulligan says it all kicked off during her pregnancy. Well, at least the baby did, with the 32-year-old heavily pregnant while working on upcoming BBC 2 miniseries Collateral, which made filming it a struggle. "The biggest challenge was being pregnant and doing the night scenes," says Carey during a talk on Wednesday at BFI South Bank to discuss the series, which revolves around the fatal shooting of a pizza delivery man and airs next month. "I was 7 months towards the end of the filming. I was driving all around London at night and the baby would just go mental and would be kicking me like crazy.